Haney, Linares tonight. And, this is what I'm looking forward to because I've been a fan of Devin Haney. I'm like I said in that last video leading up to the Taylor Ramirez fight, I'm a fan of boxers. And Haney is he's getting to be a masterclass boxer, in my opinion. He's compared a lot, I've heard, to Floyd Mayweather. I'm not even going to touch that. But he's a great boxer. He's got good reflexes, great speed. He's got accuracy. He doesn't waste punches. He's got the ability to work with his feet. Against Linares, who's proven fighter. But minus 165 for a stoppage, for Haney to win by stoppage, and plus 165 for Devin Haney to win by decision or technical decision. Now, those sound like odds I'm going to work with. So, those were the bets I was looking at. And I'll tell you, leading up to this fight, I never thought I wouldn't think. I mean, well, y'all seen Devin Haney fight. He don't knock people out. You don't stop people. I was watching his last three fights. His second to the last fight against Santiago went the distance. And I'll be honest, I don't remember Santiago. I don't remember who he was. I didn't even remember that fight when I watched it again. I'm sure I watched it. I didn't remember it. But, Santiago went the distance with him 2 fights ago. When I watched Devin Haney fight, well, things come to mind as, it's not, I don't know that he doesn't have power. I mean, that's what people will say because he doesn't have the knockouts. But I tell you what, 3 fights ago against the guy, I don't know his name, Abdulev or something like that. I don't know his name. He stopped him in the 4th round, I think, 3rd or 4th. Maybe it was after going into the 4th. But it was because of what I believe was a broken nose. Now, it doesn't have to be just strictly, breaking punch through wall power. I completely messed that up. You don't have to have the power to punch a hole through a brick wall, is what I was trying to say, to cause real damage. Broken bones, broken nose, speed, timing, the snap of that punch, the momentum of the other fighter. Again, going back to how you time the punch, all that can play a factor. All that can cause broken bones. It's not that I don't think Devin Haney hit him so hard with so much might that it broke his nose, but he hit him just right. And Haney can do that. Going back to what I mentioned, he's got great reflexes, great speed, good timing. He's a good boxer. And when he broke the guy's nose, that told me a lot. Because I think ultimately I'm putting my money on the stoppage for Haney. Let me just go ahead and say that at minus 165. I put my money on the stoppage for Haney. On this one, I'm not that confident that he's going to stop him. But I think it's more likely than not. Linares, here's one thing I've kind of learned to believe, at least, is that fighters that swell up tend to swell up. Fighters that get cut tend to get cut. Linares is that ladder fighter. That guy bleeds all the time. I mean, he bleeds all over the place. I think in his last fight, he had a cut over his eye in the first round or second round against Morales. And again, it doesn't take super duper power to cause a cut. But what can cause cuts are those glancing straight shots. They kind of hit you on the side and rub off. Those can open up a cut right away. And if you've been cut, you got that scar tissue, you're more likely to be cut. So I think he's going to win by stoppage, not by a single punch knockdown. I don't even really think it'll be an accumulation of punches. I think that's very possible, but I think what's more likely is Devin Haney will be able to catch him with the 1-2 enough. The straight right hand is really what I'm looking for. Open up a cut, again, on Linares' eye, and that cut, because of Haney's ability to target accurately, may become so bad and so bloody to the point ref has to stop it. I see that as very, very possible. In fact, likely. And that's why I believe it'll be stopped. Now, you combine that with what I see when I watch Linares, which is not very good head movement. I think his head is there to be hit. I mean, he can move a little bit, he can box a little bit, but ultimately, in my opinion, he doesn't have great head movement, which is something that somebody fighting against Haney will need. Now, his knockout against his last fight looked great. I mean, he landed a good right hand, which Linares has done time and time again, I believe, throughout his career. But I don't expect that to land that frequently or good enough to knock out Haney. Haney's too defensively aware, I think. Haney's the type of guy, he does have that Mayweather-esque mentality from what I can see, is that he doesn't give a damn about what people say about how boring his fight is. Yeah, I don't see Linares landing that. Haney's too defensively aware, and ultimately I think he's going to get cut because he always gets cut. And I think Haney will be able to target that cut, cause enough pressure to make the ref, make the corner, or make the doctor recommend a stoppage or stop the fight. That's just how I see this one going. Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez fight. Just to touch on that fight real quick, because that was a great fight. I wish it got more coverage. I wish more people were aware about it. All my fans, not all my fans, but all my friends on social media that say they follow boxing, get all excited about Canelo fighting. Didn't seem to know shit about a real fucking fight here. And I might have sounded bad, but that's my opinion. Yeah, they didn't know who the guys were, and it's sad because that was a big fight. Any undisputed fight is, and Josh Taylor, congrats to the Scottish man from in the 140 weight class, got all 4 belts now. Quite the feat. And I thought it went pretty good, exactly how I thought it would. I thought he got into more firefights, and into more squabs than I wanted to see him. But I knew that was going to happen. I think I talked about that in my last video, that he's going to get Ramirez. I mean, we'll give the credit to Ramirez. He pushed forward, he forced that fight, but at the same time, Taylor's very willing and to have that type of fight. He even though he has the skills, the ability to get back, box on the outside, that's just not his fighting style from what I have seen. But that left uppercut landed, knocked him down. I thought that was the most impactful punch of the night. Maybe it's because I was calling for that left uppercut to land. He threw it inside. It was a beautiful shot. I think it was Andre Ward. One of the broadcasters on the telecast were talking about that left uppercut early on, second or third round. He noticed him throw it. I think I saw him throw it once in the first round, though if I remember correctly, it missed. But I thought that punch was there for him much, much more, and he could have landed it much, much more. But when he did land it, it was very effective. Put him down, and in my opinion, changed the course of the fight. I think that was the most effective punch of the night. Put him down. I didn't think Ramirez looked the same afterwards. You tell me if Taylor didn't get those 2 knockdowns in each of those rounds, but still won those 2 rounds that he knocked him down in. That would have been a tie? 114. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I didn't see it. I was drinking. I had for me a lot of money on the line on that one, and to deal with my nerves when I'm betting on large like that, I have a few drinks. There's no doubt about that. And so I didn't score the fight, and I stopped scoring fight. I think I mentioned this before in my videos because I bet, and I don't want to score it partial. But in my head, I keep a tally. And at the end of the night, last Saturday, I had Ramirez with 2 rounds, with maybe 1 or 2 swing rounds in there. How the hell could it have been 114 if Taylor didn't knock him down those 2 rounds? I don't know. But again, I'm pointing out the fact that on the last video I said I agree with Teddy Atlas. There's an agenda, and they might want Ramirez to win. But one thing I said was I think Taylor will make it. He'll be able to separate himself, and he's going to make it very hard for judges to award Ramirez the fight. Luckily, that came by way of 2 knockdowns, which apparently he needed at least one of those to earn the victory. Because I think if I remember right, it was 114, 112 on all 3 scorecards, all 3 judges. Ridiculous, in my opinion. Either way, good win. That's enough about that.